today I'm going to get some shots of some of the nature things. You can see the waves and all behind me. But there's some really neat things around in the tidal pool here that we got going. So I'm going to just walk along. I may talk a little bit, but I'm going to try and be soothing and calm and not so excited. This is going to be really interesting with the tidal pools, how the wind blows across, how the pools form. There's streams here, streams there. You see the sand movement with the water currents. Walking away from some friends that just, they don't really want to be on. I get it. I can't have activity when I'm doing the video. Look at this big old pool. You can really see the water moving. And then you can see I'm still away from the ocean. Still okay right now. Don't pull it from the you can see you can get up to waist high or chest high. And then you're in the water. It's going to see it right there. Right there. So just walk around this big part of the tidal pool. And I would like to go back out here and kind of see away from it. You see as it was forming, you see the sand colors, how they change and how they direct it. One of the cannonball jellies. My friends looked it up. It's a cannonball. There's a little bird over here in white can. Another little. This is a pretty big one. You see the other. There's higher ground right here from us. That's higher ground. You see the birds there. That water is going to get and this water here, this big water, is flowing to here. And now this is where it's all flowing out to the ocean. So you can imagine this little gully is going to get bigger and bigger. And even when the water gets deeper, that gully is still under there. And it's going to be like where a rip current up here is, if the rip current should be. Today it's the water, everything is pretty calm. The currents are pretty calm. I mean, sometimes you might get a rip current, but it's a calmer day or it's calmer. And you can feel it, but it's nothing you can't push against. But on rougher days, it doesn't really matter. If you get it in water you become more buoyant, you're going to be floating in the water, and it's going to take you where it wants to take you. April day. I know people do really long videos. I just really cannot. After a while, I think, it's long enough. And if you're, I can't see if you leave a message, but I will say this: if you visit and you're watching, if you leave comments, please leave comments. I wouldn't mind hearing from people what you like or don't like, and I don't mind maybe changing the style or something a little bit. But it is going to be what it is going to be. Can't say that I'll change, but probably be who I am still. But some things might be, I'm open to any kind of comments, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I think it's so cool how the sand just swirls and moves. really sometimes get into that. I like the coloration of the sand and the shapes, the Zen doodly shapes. So just can't get enough of this beach. Look at this. Here's one of the olive snails that washed up. It's not going to make it if I don't get it back to at least some kind of wet ground. It's going to be wet here before too long. And that's the main thing. If they're, see, the tide's coming in. So the ones that are pretty close here to the tide line, they're going to make it. Tide's coming up as long as the birds don't get them. And I'm going to go back up to my friend, so there's one that's getting ready to dig down in. You see him? He's moving a little bit. I don't know if you can tell that or not. I'm just going to stay right here for a minute. We'll watch until as the water comes up and back. See, the water's coming up. You see he's plunging down in. Like this sand, I gotta get down, I gotta get protected in the sand. I'm just gonna wait for a minute. Water's going to be coming up closer to us before. There it comes. You'll see him go under. Easy he can move once the sand gets moist and wet. He's moving right on down in, protecting himself. I don't know what the hell they eat in the sand. Bring him in with the zoom a little bit. See if you see him moving. I know my camera's not the best, but hey, it does all right. See the waves coming in still. We had that nice one that came up, rinsed everything off, but he's burying himself deeper, even though the water's not coming up too much. You realize the water, the tide is coming in, so the water level is getting higher all around us, which means the sand underneath of us is getting wetter. Because, I mean, that much water, and you think there's not water underneath of us too? So as it gets closer, more water's all coming in, and more water's coming into the sand that's all, seems like it's packed. So the sand down under is getting moisture, and this is what he's looking for, a nice slurry of sand to get up in. You can hardly see him now. Still see him a little bit. You see he's burying deeper and deeper. Every time he comes in and makes a slurry in the sand, it goes a little deeper. The next wave that comes over, we probably won't be able to see him anymore. Then we'll move out from there. I'll rinse my hand and get it dried off so I can zoom out and we can see. Zoom out a little bit. No, even further in, I'll come up. You can hardly even see him now. Watch him till you see it gets like on his side. He's almost gone. There he goes. I'm trying to make it so you can see. I hope you can see. With the glare of the sun, I can't really tell, honestly. But look at that. You barely can see his tail. I don't know if he's making out, but there we go. Like that, he's gone. You see a little mound of, right here's a little mound of sand, right here's a little hole thing. He's in the slurry. He's found his way home, right? A couple fellas riding bikes. They're just a big old swoop around. Going to try to stay on for 15 minutes, and I'm at 12 minutes 49 seconds. I feel like I'm on the treadmill at the gym, so maybe I can think of it that way, like trying to get my steps in. At the video I just did before this one, and honestly it was just before this one, I found sand dollar out here. Small little sand dollar, but it was so darn fragile. I mean, I could just pick it up and it was like breaking apart. So, I don't know. I don't know why it was so fragile. It looked like somebody had stepped just on the edge of it or some kind of pressure, because when I saw it, I could tell part of it was already cracked. And then when I went to pick it up, there was more of it that just crumpled right off. So this beach is pretty neat to me. It's quite different than when we're in Florida. One thing is, I think there's very few inlets around, so we don't have, and the Gulf Stream is, I don't know, it's pretty far out. So we just don't have boats and people fishing right in through here. Like, if we had a day like this in Florida, there would be so many boats out. It's such a pretty day. Just like that, don't forget to like the videos, please subscribe, and also, like I said, leave comments now and again. I'll comment back. Just say hi, tell me where you're from, tell me what you like to see, and which is your favorite beach, Each one is different, or each place. Because, you know what, I'm not going to just have beaches. I'll have the mountains and other things here, I'm sure. So like the channel, or like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. And look at that. 3 things, and it's all free. It's all free. So, yeah. It is 15 minutes, 17 seconds. I'm signing off.